Hey, what's up, guys? It's John with I Talk Stocks. Um, I've been receiving some questions after I posted a blog yesterday. I started receiving some questions in my inbox on my Facebook page, and most of them centered around how did I get started in investing. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. I'm going to try to be as transparent as possible in hopes that it helps you guys, especially if you're interested in investing. Um, well, the way I got started, I was off of work one day, and it was raining outside, and I have a tendency to like to look at uh, different documentaries because I like to learn about things. And I was searching on demand for something to watch, and I came across the documentary "Becoming Warren Buffett." Uh, Becoming Warren Buffett it's not only a documentary about Warren Buffett's life, but you get to see what his investing principles are, see where it started, and you get to see just how he thinks. When I watched that documentary, I became he became my investing mentor. Like I began searching everything Warren Buffett. I started wanting to learn more and more about him. How old he was when he bought his first stock, which was 11 years old. I just wanted to continue to learn more and more about him. And then as I began to learn more and more about him, then I began to want to learn more and more about the stock market. So I started going to different libraries, reading about what stocks are, and just finding out everything I could find out about the stock market. And I say this to anybody I ever talk to. Reading it's an important tool that we often take for granted. You wouldn't believe how many people I talk to that tell me that they hate to read. And there were a lot of different people who at one time would be killed for reading. Black people, for instance, African Americans were killed for reading at one time. So when someone tells me that they hate reading, it kind of baffles me because I'm like, people fought so that we would be able to read, so that everybody would have the equality to read. Um, and just in general, there's so many things you can learn from reading about anything. And even if you don't like to read books, there are different things on the internet. You can go on YouTube and YouTube just about anything. There's courses, even when it comes to investing. There's courses on investing. There's different content that people post about investing every day. So that's how I got started. I read a whole lot before I ever bought or even thought about buying my first stock or my first share. I read a whole lot of information. Tell you a good book to read is Benjamin Graham's The Intelligent Investor, which you'll also hear about a whole lot watching Becoming Warren Buffett. You can order it on Amazon. I'm not sure if you can get it in a library because the one I went to they didn't have it. But you can go to Barnes and Nobles and get it ordered as well. It's a great book. It'll give you a lot of good principles on investing. So I did a lot of reading, and this is the other thing that I really don't like to admit, but I'm going to admit it to you guys. I failed a lot when I first started. Not a lot, but I lost a lot when I first started. And what it was that instead of being focused on the long term and playing the long game, I wanted a quick buck at first, and like I told you before, for a lot of you, if you're looking to make a quick dollar, that's not value investing, which is what I do. That's not for you. Value investing takes time. It takes time and a lot of patience. You have to have. I said it before in the first video. You got to have a temperamental stability about you and that sounds easy, but it's not always easy because you're wanting to see that money grow every day. Um, but what I started wanting to do, I got impatient and I was like, you know what? I've been reading about day trading for a while too, because again, I get interested and I read everything. So I'm like, I'll try my hand at day trading. Now, the difference from day trading and value investing. Value investing, again, is you investing in a business that no matter what happens, if the market's closed tomorrow and open back up a month from now, your business is going to be protected because you're still making money. Well, day trading is more of you trying to guess where that company's stock value or stock price is going to be, probably by the end of the day. Because a lot of times what I was doing was I was buying probably early in the morning. I probably sell by the end of the day, and I did make some money. I'll be honest with you. At first I made a lot of money. I was making a certain amount of money every day. And I did it for about a week. And then towards the end of that week, I lost almost all of that money. I lost almost all of that money making a bad move, a real bad move. Now, that doesn't mean you can't day trade. If you choose to be a day trader and value investing isn't for you, I'm going to warn you that it's not as easy as you might think it is. Day trading is something where you have to keep your eyes on that stock and that company all day long. You got to really keep your eye on it, because you can lose money just like that. So you really have to be paying attention, and it takes a lot of work. You can make money fast, but it takes a whole lot of work. It's almost a full-time job. If you want to day trade, I will say this. A great person to look into is Timothy Sykes. Timothy Sykes has made a lot of money day trading, and he also offers courses that will help you, and it's the real deal. But you have to you gotta follow him, and you gotta really commit to making sure you're paying attention to where the prices are going on that particular company you decide to trade in that day. With that being said, I failed and I lost some money, but I picked myself back up. I gained some money back, and then I stopped. But I like I said, day trading is you're kind of gambling, whereas value investing is where, like for instance, I chose Coca-Cola was the first company that I looked into. And the reason I looked into it, one was because I'm becoming Warren Buffett. You hear about Coca-Cola all the time, and if you watch a lot of Warren Buffett's videos, you see a whole lot. Him talk about Coca-Cola a whole lot. He made a lot of money with them over the years. But also because if you think about it, you need to think of all the companies like this. There are some companies, like let's say you buy into a tech company, it could be on fire for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then all of a sudden go out of business. Well, when are people going to stop drinking soda? I can tell you, they're not. They're not going to stop drinking soda. Even in today's time where a lot of people are drinking these healthy drinks, healthy juices, people still buy soda. And over time, that's still going to make you money, because if you're buying a lot of stocks over time, all the time, you're buying the same amount, like every pay period or so, what happens is every quarterly you get a dividend payment. And when you get that dividend payment and you reinvest that dividend payment back into into that business, then you start collecting what is called compound interest. And I'll go more into both of those things. Those are coming. I said it before in other videos. Those are coming as we continue on this journey talking about stocks. But as I looked into those were the type of businesses I wanted to look into. Now, the first company I bought into was actually in the oil sector. But before I bought into that, I've researched probably about 6 or 7 different oil companies. And I looked at them. I was going at them, trying to look at them all. Anadarko, Occidental, Chevron, you name it. I was reading about it. I read about their CEOs. Which goes back to the first thing about reading. I read about their CEOs. I read about their past jobs, how successful they were, and what they've been doing from the time they came to this company to present time. And then I was looking at their quarterly earnings reports that showed how they were doing. Because if the company's managed correctly with good, honest people, then you can trust in investing in them and make money over time. Because you can trust that they're not having any shady dealings that's going to make you lose money later on down the line. And then I want to go back to something I said in the last video about picking businesses you can understand, because that's what I did. I feel like I could understand the oil sector, so that's what I chose to invest in. Again, you don't want to just invest in something because you see everybody else doing it. You got to know when to be fearful about something, and you got to know when to get greedy. So it's not, and it has to be by your own research and what you read about. And like I said, I like to be as transparent as possible. Since I've been value investing, getting into value investing and doing, following Warren Buffett's footsteps as far as value investing. That's been helping me, because now I look at it, instead of just looking at it as numbers, I look at it as I own a piece of this business, and which is why I don't check the price all the time. I'm not always looking at the price. I don't even check the market all the time. What I do is I just keep adding that money into that company. But that's how I got started, though. I got started learning about Warren Buffett, then I started reading for myself. So my suggestion to anyone who wants to get started in investing, do research. Go to a library, pick up a book, get online. There's a lot of different people with a lot of different content. If you have any questions for me, you go to my Facebook page. You can ask me questions there. And I'll be more than happy to answer them. If it's something that's going to take a while to answer, I'll definitely make a video about it. You can go to my channel. You can comment down below and ask me questions there. And I'll be more than happy to answer them for you, because I believe that financial literacy is super important, and it's not something you're going to learn in school. You do have people who go to school to learn about business, and you will learn a little bit about it, but it's not generally taught in school, which is something that we should know. Because I can tell you now, what I wish is that I would have started investing early, and I urge you to invest as soon as you can, as soon as you possibly can. I urge you to invest. That's all I got for today with I Talk Stocks. I'll be seeing you soon. Thanks. Bye.